Good evening and welcome to the Michael J. O'Brien Court in Manchester, Pascack's amazing mom and Pascack Hills High School. Tonight, the Broncos of Pascack Hills take on the Cardinals from Westwood High School. In order for this game to be fairly contested, it's expected that we will demonstrate good sportsmanship. That you'll accept the decisions of the officials and that you'll do nothing to jeopardize the safety of the players, coaches, officials, or other spectators. There will be zero tolerance to any fan that calls out another player, coach, or referee, and the high school student athletes engaged in that play deserve respect of everyone in attendance. There's absolutely no need for drinking in the gym, and the ability to comply with these simple requests will cause you to lose the privilege of watching this game. We thank you for your anticipated cooperation for making this control and an experience for you. And now, starting on this. For the Cardinals, that card number 33, Connor Reed. At forward number 30, Andrew Rodriguez. At forward number 32, Sean Morrison. At forward number 20, Sam Arceri. And at forward number 1, Robbie Varsity. The card is headed by Mr. Rob Varsity, assisted by Mr. Jim Holsworth and Mr. Garrett Dustin. And now, here are your Broncos. At guard, number 2, Cole Pascack. At guard, number 3, Justin Bohegan. At forward, number 15, David Whitewaller. At forward, number 24, Nick Lockman. And at forward, number 23, Tyler Sanders. The Broncos are headed by Mr. Paul Rico, assisted by Mr. Michael O'Brien, Mr. Matt Brady, Mr. Josh Wilson. Your official for the 19 Mr. Barrett, Kyle Moore, Mr. Troy Bryan, and Mr. Jack Shaw. At this time, we ask all that are able to please rise and prove their hats and be listened to the Pascack Hills Chamber Choir sing our national anthem.
And so we're ready to get going in our second of two games here at the Michael J. O'Brien Court in Pascack Hills High School. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Matthew Merlino. Tonight, you'll get to see our main event of the evening as the Pascack Hills Varsity Broncos take on the Westwood Cardinals. Well, the Broncos are still looking for a hot stretch. Last we checked in with them, they were the losers last time at home. This past Thursday, they look to turn it around as we're ready to get set and underway here. It'll be Tyler Sanders in the middle with Sam Arcleri for Westwood. 8-minute quarters, 4 minutes of overtime if we need it. And we're ready to go. High up in the air, it goes to Weidmuller and the Broncos. He's going to give it back to Cole Piscotti. We're underway. Over to Justin O'Nickian here. He's going to give it over to Sanders. Now back to Piscotti. Almost loses it there over the pass to Nick Luckman. He's going to pull up. No good on that jumper, and it goes Westwood's way. Here comes Robbie Karsich up the court. He'll give it to Sam Arclurry. And now Karsich with it. He gives it over to Connor Redio. And now it's Sean Momsen. But Karsich, long three, no good, and it's rebounded by Luckman. He gives it to Piscotti. All the way up to Sanders now. He's going to put it up, and he'll be fouled. First foul of the night will go to Westwood here. And it'll be on Robbie Karsich. 2 shots at the line for Tyler Sanders here. And he's going to miss both of them. Karsich will get the rebound, and he'll take it up for the Cardinals. Gives it over to Redio, and now back to Carson. Now back to Redio. Karsich now off the bounce pass. Gives it back to Redio, but Luxman is there. Karsich once again back to Redio. Finally goes for the three. It's airballed, and now Tyler Sanders gets it. Has the pass tipped, and it goes out of bounds. So O'Nickian on the inbound for Pascack Hills here. He's going to give it into Weidmuller, and Weidmuller gets the first points of the game for Pascack Hills. 2-0 as Karsich up the court. Over to Redio, now back to Karsich. Back to Redio now, covered by Luxman. Now back to Karsich. In for the first time to Arclurry. And now it's Momsen. Long three was covered, and Luckman gets the rebound. Piscotti now takes it up the court for the Broncos. He's going to give it to Luckman.
Look in. Get it inside.
Now O'Nickian. Now back to Luckman here. And now Tyler Sanders. Now Nick Luckman. Back to Sanders, top of the key. And Piscotti. Now over to Weidmuller, and it goes out of bounds. In comes Ben Stahl in place of Tyler Sanders. Early substitution here for Pascack Hills. Just only 2 minutes into this game. Robbie Karsich with it. He's going to give it to Momsen. Now back to Karsich. Back to Momsen. Into Arclurry, and now it's Karsich. He's going to give it over to Redio. Now back to Karsich, top of the key. He's covered by Stahl. And now long three is good from Connor Redio to take the lead. So here's Piscotti. Stahl into Luckman. And he can't get it to fall. Karsich. Now Redio. Arclurry, now Karsich driving in, covered by Luckman, now in double coverage. Open three, no good, as Weidmuller comes down with it. Piscotti into O'Nickian, a good pass there and a good layup to take back the lead. It's Robbie Karsich taking it up the court for Westwood. He gives it to Momsen. Now back to Karsich here. Gets it after the pass from Redio. And now Redio once again for three. Can't get it to fall this time. Gets his own rebound, however, and gives it back to Karsich. Robbie Karsich. Over to Sean Momsen. Back out to Karsich, but it's stolen by Piscotti, and he's into the wall as he tries to keep it in. John Stewart's going to come in here for Nick Luxman. Luckman, sorry. Now just about halfway through the first quarter and already 2 substitutions for Pascack Hills, none for Westwood. They hold a 1-point lead over the Cardinals as Karsich takes it up the court. He gives it to Arclurry. Still Arclurry, now Karsich for 3, no good. And Stewart's going to come down with the rebound. He'll give it to Cole Piscotti and the Broncos will start again. Now, up to Stahl. In for Stewart. Turns around, can't get it to fall, but Piscotti for 3, no good. And it's going to go out here. It'll go Westwood's way. Momsen to Karsich on the inbound. He gives it to Arclurry. And a long 3 is good from Sean Momsen. Westwood takes a 2-point lead. Piscotti taking it up the court. Now Stahl gives it into Stewart. Back out to Stahl. Wide open 3, no good. And a nice rebound by Weidmuller. He's going to put it up, no good. And there's a big rebound for Momsen. He's going to bounce it. Ends up back in Karsich's hands. Now Rodriguez. Back to Karsich. Back to Rodriguez. Once again, it's Momsen. Now Rodillo. Now Karsich. Back to Rodriguez now. Arclurry, big 3, no good. But he gets his own rebound out to Rodriguez. Wide open 3, can't fall. And Piscotti gets the rebound for Pascack Hills. They're still down by 2, but Piscotti will even it up there with that layup. 2 minutes 10 to go in the first quarter here. It's going to be Karsich taking it up the court. Gets it back after the pass from Momsen. Over to Rodriguez. Now Momsen back to Karsich. Bounces it lazily to Momsen, who gives it into Arclurry and is going to be called for a travel here. So it'll be Justin Onikian on the inbound to Cole Piscotti, and we'll get back underway under 2 minutes to go. All even at 6 here. Hills with the ball. As Stahl in the corner gets it out to Weidmuller. He's going to give it to Piscotti in the corner. Onikian now for 3, no good. And it's going to be Karsich once again taking it up the court. Rodriguez. And a whistle here. No shot, and Tyler Sanders will come in for Justin Onikian. And it'll be Luckman for David Weidmuller. So the 2 substitutions they made earlier stay on. Those are Ben Stahl and John Stewart. But the guys who were subbed out for those 2, Tyler Sanders and Nick Luckman, are back on the court. Stahl gives it to Stewart. He's going to try and drive in, but gives it out to Piscotti. Doesn't take the 3. And is going to be called. No, it's going to be a foul here on Arclurry, his first of the night. And the 3rd team for Westwood. Big 3 for Nick Luckman there. That puts Hills up by 3. And now Robbie Karsich takes it back up the court for Westwood. He's going to give it over to Arclurry, and he's going to drive in. Gives it out to DeLauro. Now Karsich. Over to Rodillo. Now back to Karsich. Back to Rodillo. Back out to Karsich. Long 3 there. Oh! And it got stuck by the hoop. It's going to be John Stewart pulling it out there. And it'll be an inbound here for Westwood. You don't see that every day. And it'll be Karsich on the inbound. He's going to give it into Arclurry, who's going to get the N1 here. Foul will probably be on Nick Luckman, and that'll be the first tonight. And it is on Luckman. First tonight for both Hills and Luckman. One shot coming here for Sam Arcluri after the layup with a chance to tie. And he's going to miss it, and Tyler Sanders will bring it down. He'll give it up to Cole Piscotti and quickly takes it up the court, gives it to Stewart for three, and good. Big three ball there for John Stewart. He's going to let the Broncos lead by 4 now. Just 10 seconds remain. And it's Karsich. A lot of contact here. Karsich still with it, puts it up to end the quarter, no good. So at the end of the first quarter here, 8 minutes of great action, score 12-8. The Broncos lead the visiting Westwood Cardinals. For now, though, Matthew Merlino will see you at the end of the break. You're watching Pascack Hill, or PH Athletics, your #1 home for Pascack Hills sports. Same 5 back on the court for the Broncos as we're ready to get the second quarter of action underway here. As Pascack Hills leads Westwood 12-8. They'll have control of the ball to start things. Ben Stahl with the inbound to Cole Piscotti. And we're back underway. Piscotti will take it up. Covered by Karsich here. Point guard on point guard. He gives it to Stewart. And intercepted there. Pass intended for Tyler Sanders, and Robbie Karsich takes it up. Now gives it to Momsen, and Momsen with a big 3. They cut the lead down to 1 as we're back to Broncos ball here. Cole Piscotti with it. Now Ben Stahl. And he gives it out to Luckman. In on the shovel to Sanders. Now back out. Ends up in Stewart's hands. In the corner is Piscotti. Now Stewart steps over and gets it. Good shot there from the foul line, and it's going to be 14-11. Karsich takes it up for Westwood. Gives it over to Rodeo. 3 ball no good, and it's brought down by Stewart. Now Piscotti. He's going to give it up to Stahl, but there's a whistle here. And it's going to be a foul on Nick Luxman. That'll be his second tonight as John Stewart comes out for David Weidmuller. So it will be Robbie Karsich taking things up. He gives it to Rodeo. Now over to Momsen. Arcluri still with it now for 3. No good, but he gets his own rebound here and gives it out to Karsich. And Karsich bleeding here, so he's going to have to come out. It'll be an inbound here for Westwood. And in comes Andrew Rodriguez for Robbie Karsich. Inbound here for Westwood. Nick Luckman covering. Number 32, Sean Momsen, who gives it all the way over to Connor Rodeo. He's going to keep it with him in heavy coverage from Cole Piscotti, and Luxman gets it on the interception and almost dunks it. Another 2 for Pascack Hills here. They take the lead by 5, their biggest lead of the night, as Rodriguez gives it over to Momsen. He's going to get it back off the loose ball. Rodriguez still with it, top of the key. But a huge 3 there, no good from Sean Momsen. And they're going to call Cole Piscotti out of bounds here. Never mind. They're going to let the Broncos get an inbound here. Never mind. It's going to be a Westwood timeout. That's the situation. 6 minutes, 8 seconds on the clock. Scoreline 16-11. Pascack Hills Broncos lead by 5. We'll see you after this short one. And we're ready to get back to action here. It'll be a Pascack Hills inbound as Stahl will give it to Cole Piscotti, and we're back underway. Piscotti with it up top of the key. He's going to give it over to Ben Stahl. Stahl gives it out to Tyler Sanders. He gives it into Luxman, out to Piscotti. No good, but it's rebounded by Weidmullen, who's going to be called for a travel here. Going to be Sean Momsen on the inbound here. Robbie Karsich now with it. And Karsich gives it to Arclurry. Now back to Jack Walsh. Now Arclurry. He's going to try and drive in. And it's going to be a foul here on David Weidmuller. It'll be his first of the night. And the third of the night for Pascack Hills. 7 is the bonus number, but of course it gets reset at halftime. Here's Arclurry. Tries to do it all by himself, misses, puts it back up and gets it. 16-13 now the score. It is Cole Piscotti who takes it up the court. He gives it to Tyler Sanders. And Sanders pulls up. No good on that one. Karsich. And it'll be fouled here. Should be one on Cole Piscotti. And that's what happens. 4th team foul for the Broncos. First for Cole Piscotti, and now shots from the line. 2 for Robbie Karsich. Timeout first, though, called by Pascack Hills. That's your situation. 30-second timeout, 5 minutes 05 on the clock. We'll be right back. And so it will be 2 from the line. Once again, to brief you, Robbie Karsich, 2 shots from the line coming up here for Westwood. Makes both, it'll be a 1-point game. Broncos still in control. He's going to miss the first. And he'll make the second, so it's a 2-point lead for Pascack Hills. Piscotti takes it up for the Broncos. He gives it to Tyler Sanders now, and he's going to give it to Justin Onikian into David Weidmuller now, looking for somebody. Back out to Onikian. Now over to Sanders. Onikian still with it. Cross court over to Piscotti. Now Sanders. Now Onikian. In bounce pass. Good one there to Weidmuller, who gives it out to Sanders. Pulls up. Contested three. No good. And Weidmuller couldn't get the tip in there, as now it's Jack Walsh with it for Westwood. Now Karsich, who pulls up with a good layup to tie. Just about halfway through this second quarter here, 4 minutes until halftime. It is Sanders, now Justin Onikian, and now Piscotti. And Onikian still with it, into Luckman. He's going to put it up, and one for Nick Luckman there. Takes the lead with the two, possibly to go up by 3. Foul is on Sean Momsen, his first of the night. And the fourth for the Cardinals. Here's the lone foul shot for Nick Luckman. And he's going to get it there. So it's a 3-point lead for Pascack Hills. Here's Robbie Karsich taking it up, covered by Justin Onikian. In double coverage now, all the way over to Walsh. And now back to Karsich. All the way over to Redio. And now into Arclurry. Back out in a 3-ball, no good. That was from Jack Walsh there. Couldn't get it, and now Piscotti hauls it in. He gives it to Onikian, and Onikian to Luckman. Into Sanders. Great passing and a great layup to end it there from Tyler Sanders. Broncos take a 5-point lead. Here's Redio back over to Karsich cross court. Nice bounce pass there to Momsen. Back all the way over to Redio. Karsich keeps it with him after having to go up 20 feet in the air to get that one. And now it's going to be a foul here. And Weidmuller's second of the night. Inbound here, Redio will take it. He's going to give it back to Karsich. Pressed by Onikian. Now Sanders on the press for Redio. Double coverage here as our clerk. Now Momsen over to Karsich. Back to Momsen. Drives in. And some passes. Karsich with an open 3 drills it. And that pulls him within 2. Piscotti. Over to Onikian, right back to Piscotti. Now back to Sanders. Sanders over to Piscotti. Now Luckman. Can't get it to fall. And it'll go out here. It goes Pascack Hills his way. How about that? They didn't make an effort to keep it in because they thought it was going to go their way. That's Westwood I'm talking about, but no, it goes the way of the Broncos. And now Tyler Sanders has it. He's going to give it all the way back to Piscotti, who will take it up once again. Gives it to Sanders, who drives in, out to Luckman. Back to Piscotti. Over to Onikian. Back into Sanders. Now back out to Piscotti. Onikian, top of the key, drives in. Now a good bounce pass there to Sanders. He's going to be called. Looks like a foul here. And it's a foul on Arclurry. That's his second of the day. And Onikian on the inbound. Travel call here. Luckman had it. Karsich. He's going to get it off the cross court from Redio. Walsh, now Karsich. Redio loses it. Onikian's now got it. And it goes out. It's going to go which way here? Well, looks like it's going to go Pascack Hills' way. Onikian was lining up to take it, but he's going to get subbed out in favor of Ben Stahl, who will take the inbound here for the Broncos. Minute 51 to go in the first half here. It's Stahl with it, looking to throw. He gives it to Piscotti. Double, triple coverage now. Gives it to Sanders, drives in. Now pulls up from the elbow, no good. And Luckman almost had it there, but Karsich has it for Westwood. Now it's Rodeo over to Arcluri. Now Rodriguez with it, gives it back to Karsich. Looking to pass, gives it over to Arcluri. Gives it to Rodeo, who keeps it with him. And a push here. Foul will be on Cole Piscotti, his second today. And that's 6 for the Broncos. Bonus is triggered at 7, although it does get reset for the second half. That's team fouls, not personal fouls, but tipped on the inbound. Still goes Westwood's way. In double coverage, Rodriguez somehow gets it off to Karsich, who gets a great shot off, also in double coverage to tie it up. All even at 21 here, just about a minute to go. Stall, now Piscotti loses a man, now pulls up, and good. 2-point lead again for Pascack Hills, 50 seconds and counting to go. Karsich with it. Looking for something. Gives it over to Rodeo. Now back to Karsich. Back to Momsen, who misses it. And Piscotti gets the rebound. He's going to bring it up. Just 40 seconds and counting to shoot. Drives in. Puts it up and good. It's now a 4-point lead for the Broncos here. As Karsich taking his time going up the court with about 20 seconds to shoot and counting. Rodeo, now Karsich. Gives it back to Rodeo, now back to Karsich. Over to Momsen. Now back out top of the key to Karsich. Momsen still with it, gives it to Karsich, and a long three here to end it. No good, brought down by Luckman, and can't get a shot off before the end of the half. So, we'll go to halftime. The score line 25-21. The Broncos lead the Westwood Cardinals by 4. 10-minute halftime break. We'll see you on the other side of it. This is Matthew Merlino. You're watching PH Athletics, your #1 home for Pascack Hills Sports. And we're ready to get back underway here at the start of the third quarter. 16 more minutes of regulation play time, and then, of course, the possibility of any of those 4-minute overtime segments. That's always a possibility, especially because the Broncos are only up by 4. And Westwood starts with the ball, so it'll be Connor Rudillo into Robbie Karsich. We're back to some action here now in the second half. Karsich sky high over back to Rudillo, now back to Karsich. Rudillo now with it, gives it over to Karsich. She's going to drive in, gives it out to Sean Momsen, who gives it over to Rudillo. Back to Momsen now, he's going to give it to Karsich. Karsich all the way over to Rudillo, who's going to have his shot blocked. A huge one from Tyler Sanders there. And it goes out of bounds. It should be an inbound here for Westwood, and it is. It looks like it'll be Karsich who gets it, and he does. He's going to give it out to Momsen, who hands it off to Karsich in double coverage. Through ball is no good. And now Sanders has it. He gives it over to Luckman, and now he gives it to Sanders. Luckman now with it. Now Sanders, now Onikian. Now Cole Piscotti back to Onikian. Now Tyler Sanders, he gives it to Onikian. Now Weidmuller, now back to Onikian. He's going to give it to Cole Piscotti. And now Justin Onikian still with it. He's going to try and drive in, gives it out to Weidmuller. Corner three is good. And the Broncos will go up by 7 here as Karsich with the cross quarter to Rudillo. And he gives it over to Momsen, now back to Karsich. Karsich still with it off the short pass from Rudillo, now back over to Rudillo and into Arcluri. Now back to Karsich. Karsich over to Momsen. Now Karsich still with it, gives it back to Momsen, over to Rudillo, but before that he's going to be called for a travel. And here comes the inbound for Hills here. It'll be Onikian to Piscotti. 6 minutes 25 in the third to go. Over to Onikian, now Piscotti, now Luckman. He gives it to Sanders. Sanders back to Luckman. Back to Sanders now. He gives it into Weidmuller. Weidmuller back to Luckman for 3 is drilled. And that'll put the Broncos up by 10 here. 6 minutes to go in the third. Rudillo with it, cross court to Karsich, and Karsich does the same. Now gives it blocked pass, and it's going to be Weidmuller. No good, he lost it there. Had it blocked, I believe, by Karsich, but now it'll be an inbound here for Pascack. Hills Onikian with it as Jack Walsh comes on for Andrew Rodriguez. As I say, Onikian has it for the Broncos. He gives it to Sanders on an incredible play. He puts it in, staying in the air the entire time. Broncos lead by 12 and tipped once again by Onikian, but nobody can get it now. Piscotti on the interception. He's going to put it up and gets it. No and one, doesn't matter. Back to a 14-point lead and a carry here for Westwood. Everything going right for the Broncos. And it's a timeout for Westwood here. Leaves them with just 3 to go. We'll be right back after this 30-second break. And ready to get back to some action here. It'll be an inbound for Pascack Hills. Justin Onikian has it. Who will he give it to? My money's on Cole Piscotti, and that looks to be exactly what he's doing. And Piscotti gives it to Weidmuller. Now looking for a pass. He's going to dribble with a no-looker over to Onikian, who gets a screen from Weidmuller, gives it into Luckman, and Luckman with the nice pass to Sanders, who hits the layup under the basket. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Rodeo now for Westwood. He gives it over to Robbie Karsich. And now Rodeo. And Piscotti with a nice interception is going to be called for a carry. So it'll be an inbound here for Westwood. Connor Rodeo with it. He gives it over to Robbie Karsich, and back to Rodeo. And Karsich. Over to Rodeo. And a nice steal here from Piscotti. Stays with it. And a whistle. Foul on Robbie Karsich here. It's going to be his second of the day. Inbound coming for Justin Onikian here in the Broncos. Who will he go to? Gives it to Luckman right under the basket and good. 39-21 score line here. Broncos need 2 to go up by 20 as Karsich with it for Westwood. Arclurry in double coverage, and Onikian's going to get the interception here. He's going to make the layup, and the Broncos go up by 20 points here. And still more than halfway to go, just more than halfway to go in the third quarter, and a full 8 minutes to go in the fourth. And out of bounds it goes for Westwood here.
Take away the middle, just the middle.
Oh, Karsich is going to get the inbound. It went out on Pascack Hills, they say. And he'll give it out to Momsen, who pulls up for a long 2, can't get it to fall. Now Walsh blocked, but it's going to be a foul here. And it'll be on David Weidmuller. That's his third. 2 shots here for Jack Walsh. Misses the first shot. Foul situation for the teams, 1 for each of them. And Walsh cannot make the second foul shot fall, so nothing gained from that. Now Luckman gives it out to Sanders. And he's going to give it back up to Piscotti. They'll reset. Into Piscotti now. As Onikian, now Weidmuller, now Luckman. Onikian now with it. He gives it to Sanders. Sanders back to Luckman. Now it's Weidmuller. Puts it up, but is going to be called for a foul here. And it's going to be the third foul tonight on Sam Arclurry. 2 shots from the line for David Weidmuller. And he'll make the first one here. Broncos go up by 21 points. And he's going to miss the second. Goes out, but it'll go Westwood's way. 3 minutes 30 to go in the third quarter, and then a full 8 minutes to go in the fourth. Once again, theoretically possible, not probable at the moment. 4-minute overtime period if we do get there. Karsich now with Connor Rodeo. Now over to Jack Walsh, and he gives it to Karsich. And Rodeo almost has the pass stolen. Now Karsich can't pull up for the 3, but pulls up for the long 2. It's no good. And Weidmuller pulls it down for Pascack Hills. He's going to give it over to Luckman for 3. No good, but he gets his own rebound. Intended for Tyler Sanders. Pass goes out of bounds, and now in comes John Stewart for David Weidmuller. And a timeout here from Westwood. That will leave them with just about 2 remaining, I believe. And it'll be a 1-minute So we'll be back right after this. And so we'll get back to some action here. 2 minutes 52 on the clock in the third quarter. 8 minutes still to go in the fourth. Score 42-21. The Broncos have the lead and the ball here. It'll be Justin Onikian on the inbound. And he'll give it over to Cole Piscotti, who gives it to Luckman. And almost loses it on the pass, keeps it with him, but it's going to be called a jump ball, a questionable call here, but it will go Pascack Hills' way nonetheless. So Onikian will have it. Now 2 minutes 45 to go in the third. And Onikian gives it to Sanders, pulls up, no good, but nobody can pull the rebound down. Finally, Walsh gets it, and Karsich up to Rodriguez, back to Karsich now, all the way over to Rodeo.
Tyler, get back. You're up too high.
All the way over to Karsich, pulls up for three, no good. And out of bounds, it'll go Pascack Hills' way. And Onikian now into Piscotti, he'll take it up. Now, Onikian all the way cross court to John Stewart, into Sanders, into Luxman, turnaround jumper is good. And it's now a 23-point lead as Karsich and Rodeo continue to trade cross-court passes. Karsich with it now, he gives it into Rodriguez, out to Rodeo for three, no good. And it's rebounded by Sanders, fast break up the court. And a travel call here on Tyler Sanders. Pity call, I guess. But nonetheless, it'll be a Westwood inbound here. Rodeo back to Karsich, minute 40 to go. Now Rodeo, now Karsich with Onikian in between, playing monkey in the middle. Now give it into Rodriguez. Back out to Karsich. Back over to Rodriguez. Now bounce to Karsich. And Rodriguez has it once again in double coverage. Karsich with it over to Rodeo.
Good. Step in.
And Momsen with the layup, their first in the half, I believe. 44-23 now to score. It's still a 21-point lead for Pascack Hills. Onikian with it. He's going to pull up and gets one from the foul line. 46-23 now the score line has 57 seconds and counting to go. Ooh, foul there. You could hear the contact. It'll be a foul on Justin Onikian, his first of the night. And in the half, that's going to be the second team foul on Pascack Hills. Westwood has 3. Bonus is triggered at 17 fouls. And now Karsich gave it back over to Rodeo, who missed a 3. And Luckman brings it down. Over to Piscotti. He gives it over to Onikian. And now out to Tyler Sanders, back up to Onikian. Top of the key, over to Sanders once again, into Stewart. And now Sanders with it, back into Stewart. Now back out to Sanders. Onikian with Piscotti wide open in the corner, bounces it to Luckman, and now Piscotti gets it. Now Luckman gets it back. He's going to give it over to Sanders, who pulls up for a long two and gets it. 48-23 the score, 10 seconds and counting to go in the third quarter. Karsich over to Rodillo, back to Karsich, back to Momsen for 3 to end it, no good. And that's how we'll end the third quarter here. 48-23 is the scoreline. A very productive quarter for the Pascack Hills Broncos. They lead the Westwood Cardinals. 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. We'll be right back after this. And we are ready to get back going here in the fourth quarter. 8 minutes still to play. Theoretically, it's possible. Probably Vegas is not betting on it, but we could go to overtime still. That would leave a 4-minute period of play. It'll be an inbound for Westwood here. Rodillo over into Karsich. Back to Rodillo now, back to Karsich. Karsich stays with it, now Rodillo. And now our Clurry. But Rodillo, long three, no good, and brought down by Luckman. Onikian now with it. Gonna cross over, gives it over to Ben Stahl. Gonna give it over to Onikian, now back to Stahl. Back to Onikian here. He's gonna give it to Stahl. Stahl looking for a pass, gives it to Nick Luckman. And Luckman gives it over to Tyler Sanders. Sanders with it, he gives it over to Cole Piscotti, Ben Stahl. Piscotti's actually not on the court. And it's going to be a foul on Robbie Karsich here, I believe. His third of the night, and that's going to put Westwood at 3 fouls compared to Pascack Hills' 2. Inbound for the Broncos here. Ben Stahl with it off the inbound pass from Onikian. Now John Stewart with it. Now Tyler Sanders. Sanders crossing over. Now over to Ben Stahl. Pulls up for 3, no good. And all the way up to Karsich, wide open layup is good. And it's a 23-point lead for the Broncos here as Onikian gives it over to Tyler Sanders. Now Stewart, now Luckman for 2, no good. And here comes our Clurry. But Walsh's 3, no good. And it's going to go Pascack Hills' way. It's going to be a foul on Sean Momsen of Westwood, his second of the night, and some subs here. Nick Luxman will come off for David Weidmuller. Possibly the last time we see Luckman tonight, as Justin Onikian takes it up the court. He's going to give it to Ben Stahl, who gives it to John Stewart. Over to Weidmuller, pass is intercepted, though, by Sean Momsen. And he gives it to Robbie Karsich. Karsich gives it over to Momsen. Whoa, big 3, no good. But Weidmuller loses it. It goes out, and it goes Westwood's way here. It'll be Karsich on the inbound, looking for somebody to try and score here, at least pull within 20. Layup is good, so they pull within 21 now. That was from Sam R. Clurry. Now Weidmuller with it. Tyler Sanders now. And a timeout here, a 30-second one from Pascack Hills. That leaves them with 3. We'll be right back after this. So only one change through that timeout, and it's the substitution for Alex Banting in favor of Tyler Sanders here, and he'll have the inbound. My first time seeing Banting play. We'll see how he does as Justin Onikian takes it up off the inbound. Now Stahl. Weidmuller with it. Now back over to Stahl. Stewart, layup good. And that's 50 points to Westwood's 27 here. The Broncos really dominating this second half. Connor Rodillo. Now it's Sean Momsen. Back over to Rodillo. Almost has the pass stolen by Weidmuller. Out to nobody goes Rodillo. Karsich is there to keep it with him. Now it's Jack Walsh, and now a 3-ball from Rodillo there. It's in and out and no good. Out, and it goes Pascack Hills' way. Substitutions here. It is Andrew Rodriguez coming on in favor of Sam Arclurry for Westwood. And Justin Onikian on the inbound will give it to Alex Banting. It looks here. That's the play, and he gives it back to Onikian. Now Banting with it. He gives it to Onikian. Now it is Stahl. Banting. Back over to Onikian. Onikian back to Banting. Oh, and he's going to be called for a travel, and they're not happy about that. Would have made the shot. He was wide open. Stepped a little bit over, and that's probably the right call. I am a novice, however, when it comes to the rules of basketball, so if you were able to see that, you make your own decision. Nevertheless, it's Robbie Karsich taking it up for Westwood. Rodillo now back to Karsich. And now Sean Momsen. He's going to give it over to Connor Rodillo. And now Robbie Karsich. Now Walsh with Momsen for 3, and it's good. 20-point lead now, 50-30 the score line, as Justin Onikian takes it up for the Broncos. He gives it over to Ben Stahl, and now Stahl over to John Stewart. And a whistle here. Foul on Rodriguez here. Yes, it is. Andrew Rodriguez with the foul, his first of the night, and he'll be subbed off. Actually, no, sorry, it's his second of the night. He'll be subbed off nonetheless for Sam Arclurry. And back over to Weidmuller, a long shot there. He gives it over to Onikian, back to Stahl. Stahl back to Onikian. He gives it into Banting. And gets it. That's got everybody happy here supporting Pascack Hills. Alex Banting with the layup there, 52-30 now the score line. It's a 22-point lead. In double coverage, a foul here. Foul will be on Ben Stahl, his first of the night. And that leaves the Broncos with, I believe, 3 team fouls. Compared to Westwood's 5 team fouls. We should let you know 17 fouls when the bonus starts to kick in. But it is Momsen now as Onikian on the interception, and he might be called for a charge here. No, it'll be a call on Sean Momsen, his third of the night. And a 6-team foul for Westwood here. 2 shots for Justin Onikian. He'll miss the first now as Charles Stewart will come in for David Weidmuller. It's the first time he's subbed in tonight and the first time he's subbed in the new year, I believe. So Onikian misses both free throws, possibly out of respect not to run up the score, but Karsic is going to give it over to Connor Rodillo, who makes a long three ball there. 52-33 the scoreline. It's a 19-point lead for Pascack Hills. Banting now. There's a travel here. Looked like it was on John Stewart there, who was inside.
Hands up.
As it's Karsic, long three, no good.
Pull it down, good.
And it's Stewart over to Onikian. Banting now. He gives it into Charles Stewart. And Stewart can't pull it down. Karsic with it. Big three here, no good. No good on the tip back in, and no good on the subsequent layup, as Banting is going to fight for the rebound and is going to get called here. A foul on Westwood. It'll go Pascack Hills' way, and it looks like it'll be on number 33 here. It's Connor Rodillo, his second of the night, and that leaves the the Cardinals with 17 fouls. So a bonus starting to kick in here. Alex Banting at the line. It'll be 1-1. And he'll miss the first, but gets his own rebound. Can't put it back in, and Westwood gets it. So Sam Arclurry trying to take it in, gives it out to Walsh, and Walsh over to Momsen. Now Walsh for three. No, sorry, that was Arclurry. And Onikian's going to take it up for the Broncos. Banting, big three, no good. As now back up the court, Karsic with a wide open three. They let him take it, he can't let it go. As Stahl with it. Under 2 minutes to go in this one. Timeout here for Pascack Hills. It'll be Ryan Lee and Tyler Wernick coming in for John Stewart and Justin Onikian. And so Wernick gives it to Stahl. Can't get that three ball to fall, but it's Ryan Lee on the rebound. He's going to give it out to Wernick. Keeps it with him after losing it. Gives it over to Stewart. Now back to Wernick. And out to Banting for long two. Can't get it to fall. And it goes out of bounds here. So it'll be an inbound for Sam Arclurry. Minute 25 and counting to go in this one. Arclurry. Now it is Rodillo up top. Now Rodriguez, Rodillo. Now back to Dolaro. And it's going to be a call here on Ryan Lee. His first of the night, he just subbed in. 2 shots it looks like here for Frank Dolaro. He's going to miss the first one. Minute 11 on the clock, 52-33 is the scoreline. Hasn't changed a bit since about 2 minutes 30 to go. It doesn't offer these 2 foul shots, as Wernick will get the rebound and gives it over to Banting. Now Ryan Lee with it. He gives it back out to Banting. Into Lee. Nice passes and a nice three for Ben Stahl. He'll celebrate as we've got under a minute to go. Scoreline, 22-point lead for Pascack Hills here. As it is Rodillo with Rodriguez. Blocked there. As they'll dribble this one out, it looks like. Wernick, still 30 seconds on the clock, maybe not. Banting, Stahl in the corner, now back to Banting. Gives it into Stewart. Banting They're looking for threes.
Look at Lee. Get Lee a bucket. Get Lee a bucket.
And Ryan Lee with it. He's going to give it to Wernick. And stolen by Jack Walsh here. 12 seconds to go. Rodriguez with the easy layup. That might be how we end this one. Broncos up by 20. That is how we'll end this one as Wernick will dribble things out. We're all done. Score line 55-35. And the Broncos, for the first time at home it seems, the second time at home, will take a win. And that gives them their second win on the year, it looks like, at least from information from last Thursday. So, yeah, I believe that is their second win on the year. And so that'll be the end of this one for now, however. Soon enough, however, on Thursday, we'll be right back here for the girls as they've got, right now, scheduled, they've got their varsity and JV games. Varsity running at 4:15, JV right after. They're both taking on Fort Lee. The boys, except for the varsity team, the freshmen and JV will travel to Fort Lee to play them on Thursday. That's the lowdown for Hills Sports so far. For now, though, I'm Matthew Merlino. Thank you all for joining us. This has been a presentation of PH Athletics, your home for Pascack Hills.